Hey everybody, welcome back to the Print 3D channel. Today's April 2nd, and that means day 92 of the 3DP 365 project. And on today's episode, we wrap up printing all the smaller parts for the OpenRCF1 project, so stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thank you for joining me here for day 92 of the 3DP 365 project. We're almost done with that OpenRCF1 project and we're getting ready to print those tires. If you want to get caught up on where we are in the prints, check out this cool playlist I created that'll get you caught up on everything we've done so far. But for today's episode, we wrapped up printing the smallest of the parts for the OpenRCF1 project and one of the main parts that we really need to print. So let's head over to Thingiverse and I'll show you what we printed today. Then we'll tab over to Simplify 3D and I'll show you my settings for the print. Then we'll meet back here at the workbench and we'll talk about the print. Alright folks, so here we are at Thingiverse for the OpenRCF1 project, and we're wrapping up here with some of the last of the smaller parts. And I'll put the links down in the description so you can download and print these yourself. But for today we decided to print out some of the smaller parts, like I said. That includes the rear axle, and the rear view mirrors, which are the left and right side view mirrors. And we also printed out a really small part called the lock pin, and that's this guy right here. So those are the parts we decided to print for today. So let's head over to Simplify 3D and I'll show you my settings for the print. Okay, so here we are in Simplify 3D, and I've dropped the 4 models that we've printed in this little run, and we also printed the shark fin too, but I didn't show you that one up on Thingiverse, but it is available there. And that is one of the main parts of the 2017 updates. But either way, here is our rear axle, our side view mirrors, and that little lock pin. So let me show you my process settings. Under layer height, we did our standard 0.2mm layer height with 3 top and 3 bottom layers and 2 perimeters. We also ran a skirt at 8mm from the object at 4 outlines. For infill, we used 25% for these little models, and we did not generate any support material. For temperature, this is MatterHackers PRO PLA, so I'm using a single temperature throughout, and that's 208. And I have my 3-stage cooling system set up. And under speed, we ran these out at 30mm per second because I wanted to make sure those tiny little parts turned out perfect. So let's hit OK, and let's hit prepare to print, and I'll show you how it's sliced. And there's a really quick slice, and I'll play this through. And this rear axle is super important. I would have used a brim on this just to make sure it stayed flat, but I'm using the sanded acrylic board on my gMax 1.5 XT Plus, and it grips the parts really well. So let's head over back to the workbench and let's talk about the print. Alright, so you saw my settings in Simplify 3D, and we printed out a bunch of little small parts in the main shark fin and the rear axle. And the rear axle turned out perfect. I don't have any problems with this at all. It looks amazing and it's ready to go. The shark fin turned out really cool, and that printed straight up in the air too. I just need to trim off some of the bottom where the brim was. And then we printed out these really small parts, which are the rear view or the side view mirrors, and they turned out perfect. I don't know if you can see that or not. And what's called the push pin, which I believe is just part of the assembly. And this little guy is tiny, and it turned out perfect. There are no problems with these prints whatsoever. And this MatterHackers PRO PLA, it really prints very smoothly, and I really love this filament. And my gMax did such an amazing job picking up the detail in these tiny little side view mirrors. I am super impressed. And since we're wrapping up on the project, I figured it was time to purchase some of the hardware too. And I've also ordered the bearing kit that Daniel suggested in the links in the F1 project. And if you're following along in the build, you better catch up because we're almost done. We just have tires and rims to print. Well, that about wraps it up for day 92 of the 3DP 365 project. If you are printing your own OpenRCF1 car, make sure you use those hashtags so I can find you up on social media. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share those videos, and I'll see you tomorrow.